Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Anessa and I'm an author from Toronto, Canada, and I publish under the pen name and Sage. I write mystery, fantasy, gothic, pretty much anything that you can imagine. Usually there's a lot of mystery involved and a lot of magic involved. But right now I am making my way through a brand new series. This is a spin-off of a series of my paranormal cozy mystery books. And this is called A Very Fairy Funeral that just came out last month. There's going to be some announcements for the second book as well, but that's coming up. But that's what I'm working on right now. There's a lot of cozy mysteries, a lot of paranormal cozy mysteries. I also am a book coach and a cover designer, and I am starting to get into more teaching and teaching the craft of writing. I am going to be teaching all of classes in local libraries and things like that. And I am doing more as a book coach as well. And so that's kind of like who I am. And what I like to do on this channel is put out videos every week about something to do with writing really in some way, or things that help me in writing, tools, apps, planners, journals, story tips, ways to plot, ways to write, ways to structure, things like that. So pretty much anything to do with writing and the writing world. And that is basically the channel in a nutshell. But sometimes what we do is we catch up. And I figured because I've had a lot going on, I have a very busy week, I am on the final deadlines for the second book in this series here that I have to submit to my editor. And so that's coming up this weekend. And so I've got like a lot of stuff to do. So, and I looked through kind of like the content in the videos and I realized we haven't done an author chat like in a while. I don't think since the holidays. I think the holidays were our last author chat video. And so I figured we'll do that today because it doesn't take too much prep from me, but also like then we can catch up on all the things we haven't talked about. So usually the way I start this is I talk about writing and then I talk about some of the other stuff that are going on and I catch you up on what's been going on in my life. So the writing portion. So I've literally, usually I have multiples of projects going on. Like I also ghostwrite. But right now in writing, like I said, I've been putting in pretty much all of my effort into book 2, into Fairy in the Morning. That is the next one in this series and it is due. And so that had to be kind of my main concentration. So the thing that kind of got in the way, well, not didn't get in the way, but I had this, you know me, I'm a plotter. If you've been around, you know that I plot pretty heavily before I start writing. And so I had everything plotted out. And then as I started writing, things started to change. I do leave room for discovery writing, but in this case, they started to change fairly drastically. So I had to rewrite a lot of things. I had to backtrack. I had to rewrite. I had to plot new clues and kind of go through that. And even now, as I am writing the final chapter today, right after I film this. And then I'm going to start like editing pretty much nonstop for like days straight. And even as I'm writing the final chapter, I'm adding some stuff in that I will then have to backtrack and go and add things to. So this book has been a whirlwind. It has been a bit tough to write. I'm not going to lie. It's been one of the tougher books that I had to write. And I don't know why that is. I think maybe mentally I've been, and we'll talk about this in the personal side, but like there's been some stuff that I've been dealing with. And I think it kind of started to weigh down on me a bit more. And that has taken a toll on the writing because writing, it comes from in here, right? Not just here, but here. And so if everything is kind of in turmoil, the wrong things come out. And that's why I had to rewrite. But I have found like a renewed passion for the book. And so I think it was really important for me to make those edits. And I was working with my publisher to figure out how we can do that, to make that work. And I'm glad that we did because I'm super, super excited for this book. So that's kind of where the writing has been for me for this particular start of the year. On the book coaching side, I mean, all the same as always, I'm taking on more developmentally editing clients, which has been really, really fun. I'm reading some great books. A few of my clients that they coached last year have published their books and have hit lists, and they've hit, and like not just like we're like in Amazon, they've hit some like number ones. One book that I have book coached was like really top for a while. So that has been really, really exciting. And we're kind of chugging along on the coaching side. I'm taking on more clients. I'm letting some go as they finish their books. And it's been really, really great to work with all these different genres and different types of people. And it's been really inspiring to me to do that. And I think like having the book coaching clients is what reignited my passion for my own writing, just because I'm seeing all these great ideas on there and I'm helping people bring it to life, and I'm really teaching, which is what I really love to do, and giving back, and that's been really, really nice. So that's the book coaching. Cover design. So cover design has been a little slower. And that's, I think, obviously AI has taken quite a toll on the publishing industry. And I don't talk about it a lot because I don't want to get into the drama of AI. But I do feel that I notice it affect my cover design portion of the business. And I am seeing a lot of like AI generated covers out there, which usually, I mean, they don't look great, but to each his own. Like, whatever, you got to do what you want to do. Like, I'm not here to judge anybody. I know what my opinion is and I'm sticking to it. But I will say that cover design has taken a drop for most, pretty much all designers since AI came out, myself including. And so I've noticed that even when I put out pre-mades now, which used to, like, I would put out a pre-made and usually within 5 minutes it would be gone. Like, it never really took longer than like an hour, maybe a day at the longest for somebody to snag it up. And now the pre-mades just kind of sit there, and sometimes I'll run a sale to clear inventory, but I am noticing that there has been a drop. And because it has the cover design portion of the business was like a massive part of my full income, I am having to think of what kind of to move forward. And that's kind of when I talked about like the personal stuff, which I guess is more business stuff. But I'm trying to consider what do I want to do, because I have, at the end of the day, I love my life and I love my job, but I'm going to be totally like transparent with you guys. Like I need to make money, right? like things aren't free. I have a kid. And so we have bills to pay. And so I need to think about like other things. I've been really loving crochet. And so I am thinking, I've been designing patterns, and I was already designing patterns kind of for fun, just to put them out there to make it fun, because I realized like I was illustrating a lot before, but I didn't have time to illustrate. I was falling a little bit out of love with it. And so Glitter Fritter, I wanted to rebrand it and make it all about crochet, because that's kind of my new obsession. And so I've been crocheting, I've been doing patterns. And so I'm thinking that could be something that I could try out. But again, like, it's a hobby that, and I want to keep it fun, right? Like, I don't want everything that I do to become a business. But also at the same time, I need to be paid for my time, because at the end of the day, when you work for yourself and you're an entrepreneur, you have to make these tough decisions, where you could love something, but is what you love taking away your time but not bringing back anything financial? Because if you don't have a full-time job or anything else you do, if this is what you do, like me, it needs to be feasible to survive, right? And so I'm trying that out. So I have started a YouTube channel for my crochet, and I don't think anything will come out of it. I don't expect anything to come out of it, but I want to document my journey in creation. So these are some of the little guys that I have created up here. And so I want to document my journey as like a new crochet amigurumi toy designer, because I thought it would be fun. And I needed to do more like fun things to kind of reignite like my passion for the life that I've worked so hard to create. And sorry if this is like a more of a drag of a conversation topic, because we don't like, usually it's like more fun and upbeat and whatever. But that's what's been on my mind, is trying to figure out kind of the next step in life, because obviously I'm never going to stop writing. I'm never going to stop teaching. It is like what I love to do. It's who I am. And so I need to figure out a way that makes that make sense. Because like I had my income in 3 different streams. So I had writing, I had book coaching, I had cover design. And when you cut one of those streams off, something needs to replace it. Because, life is not free, unfortunately. We don't live in a utopia. And so I have to figure out a way to compensate for the cover design that is now kind of not as great. And I might pick up again. I don't know. But right now I got to make moves, right? And you got to pivot. And that's what you like. That's one thing, if anything, that I learned from working for myself for all these years is that you have to pivot. You have to learn how to move with the times, how to figure it out. If something doesn't work, you need to figure out what your next step is, and you need to move quickly. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. And that's what's been taking kind of like a toll on me. And it's been making it harder to be creative when you have to think about like adulting and grown up things. And it's because it's not just me and my husband anymore. We have a child now to think about. Like the pressures of life are that much less forgiving. And so it is hard to be creative in that. I am lucky in that I have a very supportive family, that when I have a spark of inspiration during dinner time, like, or before, like my husband will pick up the slack and he'll cook dinner and I can go and run my bath and work on writing while I'm in the bath. And like when the creativity strikes, he just lets me go and do it because he knows how important it is for me to finish my books. And so that's been really great. It's also been great to try the crocheting thing and do new things because that kind of is a different part of my brain that I'm exercising, that I'm now using to do something creative with. And just starting a new, like, I know it's not it is a business, I guess, in a way, but starting like a new venture, let's call it a venture, because I don't know what's going to come out of it. But starting a new venture has been really, really exciting too. So I hope if you guys like crochet or if you like me and my personality, then you will go and follow this channel as well and show it some love. The first video is already going to be up when you see this, and it's just me talking about like who I am as a crocheter, and kind of my works in progress that I'm working on. So it's just me being silly, literally, for like 25-30 minutes. So give it a follow, give the video a like, spread the word. And I'll put the Instagram for Glitter Fritter Crochet in the comments below. If you do crochet, we have that in common, I will be doing a tester call for Archie the alligator. And let me just take these down. So one of these, this is the working one, and Archie is the final. So he's the first one that's going to go up, but this guy is getting a tester call, and he is a dapper Victorian gentleman. The first line of animals that I'm doing, they're all Victorian animals, and I'm sure you can guess why. It's because of the Gothic romantasy that I am currently on query with. I was very inspired by like the outfits that I had to write, and so I decided to make cute little creatures that wear them. They're so cute. So that's kind of been like the majority of it. I've been reading more. The book club. So the book club is doing really well. Fiction focus. I'm still like growing my Substack, and so it's just like me and another author, and they're chatting about books monthly. But join us; it's really fun. This month we were reading Mystery Royale, which is a really, really fun YA, kind of like a mix. Like there's magic, but it's also like kind of like inheritance games type of vibes, and it was a really fun book. And so we're going to be chatting about that at the end of the month. Which is really fun. I love doing that. So that's kind of been happening. I've been reading more. I will do a video on like the reading journal for both February and March. I'll do the two setups in there, and you can kind of see like my thoughts on some of the books that I've read as well. I'll try not to do too much of that because I am an author, so I feel weird about like reviewing other people's work, being an author myself. But I'll show you the spreads, and if I guess you can screenshot and read what I wrote, but my handwriting is so messy that I don't think you will. But there's some I really loved, some I didn't love as much, and that's okay. Every book is not for everybody. But the book club is doing great. Substack, I'm slowly working my way through that. I do put out like a mini course on there every single month, which takes a lot of time. It takes me like at least like a week or two to write that newsletter every single month. So that's been taking up some of my time, and I love doing that because again, I am starting to find that like coaching and teaching is like a big part of my my passion. It's also like, it's why I started this channel, right? Is to share what I learn. Like I get so excited about new things that I learned that I really want to share it with the world. And so that has been like a big part of it. And Substack is kind of like the next natural step in that. And so that's that. And then on the personal side, it is snowing here. Oh, one other thing actually, for kind of like more of like, I guess it's teaching related, but I was chosen to be a judge for the New Brunswick Book Awards. New Brunswick is one of our provinces here in Canada, if you're not familiar with Canadian provinces, but they have a book awards every single year, and I was chosen to be the judge for the young adult category. It's the first time they're doing a young adult category, and they've asked me to judge it, and I am so excited. So the part of the reading that I've been doing are all these wonderful books. So I get sent like a bunch of books, and I'm reading my way through them, and I have to get to pick 3 finalists and a winner, and I'm so excited. And it's amazing to see such wonderful and such like amazing local talent, like Canadian talent, especially in like a category that I love, like young adult is where I started my writing journey. And so it has been really, really wonderful to read those books. So that's been happening. And on the personal side, it's snowing like crazy here. Like we got a big snowstorm. I'm looking outside. It's like a winter wonderland. We're getting such a worse winter than we did last year. So we've been like cozying up inside. We've been like cooking a lot and watching shows, and like I've been crocheting and like, you know, my daughter has been like playing with yarn while I crochet, and we've just been like hanging out and being cozy and, you know, surviving this winter without being depressed. So that's kind of what's been happening there. And I think that's pretty much like all I have. I'm keeping it short because, again, I am on a deadline, and also because my mental state has been not in the best place. And so I don't want to drag this down and make anybody depressed. So I am keeping this short and light, just to kind of catch you up on where I've been. And I hope to see you on the crochet channel and on my journey there. But also I will see you next week, where we will do another video. I'm going to try to think of what I want to do. So maybe you could give me some comments. And as always, I hope you stay magical, and I will see you next week. Bye.